7473. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
We're 13 days away from actual live NFL football, and everybody's missing out on the biggest story in the league. The Bears.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
What does that mean, Kobe Bryant?
Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It's your boy Theo Dorsey right here on a Friday, a Top 5 Friday, kicking it. Got my guy C-Cat on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos, spinning as always. And I am so excited that we are nearing closer and closer to real NFL games, real NFL action. The Hall of Fame game now less than 2 weeks away as we'll get the Chicago Bears and the Houston Texans, two darlings of the NFL, two teams that have high expectations with young, budding star quarterbacks and also weapons all over the field. I hope both C.J. Stroud and Caleb Williams get to put on the show there. We know, based off of reports out of Bears camp today, that Caleb Williams is expected to get some preseason reps and play throughout the exhibitions there. I don't know yet on C.J. Stroud, though the Texans did report yesterday as well. These are exciting times. These are absolutely exciting times, but something that has confounded me really since the NFL draft, since what I've seen the Chicago Bears do this offseason, and now that we're on the precipice of some real football action that's going to be played right on our TV screens, just glued to the couch watching the action, I can't wait. I'm in utter shock. How is everybody missing the fact that when you look at this Chicago Bears roster and Caleb Williams, not only will this be a team that can contend for the playoffs, not only will this be a team that's going to make it hard in the NFC North, but Caleb Williams himself, in his rookie year, is about to have the most unprecedented, record-setting rookie season we've seen from a quarterback ever. Absolutely ever. We're talking about a guy that won the Heisman Trophy a couple years ago at USC, and he goes into a team in Chicago right now that is ready and perfectly molded for a rookie quarterback with his skill set, right? Being able to dart all around, escape the pocket, make the off-platform throws. I mean, the dude could throw a dart from 60 yards out on his back foot. He's got everything you would want for a quarterback in the modern-day NFL. And then also when you look at those weapons and the fact that they brought in a new shiny offensive coordinator to Chicago, to the Windy City, I can't wait to see exactly how immaculate this rookie season is going to be. And they were asking a question earlier, and it's funny because, again, we're at that time in the summer where these random sports questions keep popping up, C-Cat. And, you know, we've done the top 5 pass catchers. I think there's like a top 5 head coaches on the hot seat thing going on today and whatnot. But the question was raised, you know, which rookie quarterback is going to have the best debut season in the NFL? Doesn't that kind of feel foolish to you looking at the landscape of what these rookie quarterbacks are walking into, or am I tripping?
No, you're not crazy. The road is paved for Caleb Williams.
So Caleb Williams is literally set up to have a season where not only will he break all of the rookie records for passing. I think Justin Herbert has the record for 31 passing touchdowns in a season. He can easily surpass that. 4,000 and about 300 yards Andrew Luck did in his rookie season with the Indianapolis Colts in 2012. Well, you look at what Luck had in 12 and what Williams is set up with here in 2024, and it's easy to see with the 17th game, given the we have to obviously account for health here. Like, Chicago Bears fans could be in for, the biggest star that they've seen in town since Derrick Rose. Like, he can be that electrifying of a player when you look at who he has on the outside. You have Rome Odunze, the rookie out of Washington, who led all of college football in receiving yards last year, but also he's a speed guy. He's a guy that can go deep and win over the top of a defense. He runs all of the routes. I mean, the deep balls that he and Michael Penix Jr. were connecting on last year with Washington was so transcendent that not only did it get Washington to the national championship game, it got Kalen DeBoer the Nick Saban job. Like, that's how great of a receiver Rome Odunze can be, and he can likely be the number one rookie in this receiver class, despite Marvin Harrison Jr. going to a great situation in Arizona. And then you have, at the top end of that wide receiver spectrum of the talent or the weapons that Caleb Williams has, a guy like Keenan Allen, a veteran, on the back end of his career in the NFL. But just last year with the Chargers was lighting it up all over the field for Justin Herbert. And if he can remain healthy, he'll be a great veteran presence in that locker room. And then you have DJ Moore, a guy that's in the peak of his prime. And Caleb Williams is going to be the best quarterback that dude has been able to play with since he entered the league. I mean, he got the back end of Cam Newton. He had to go through the Baker Mayfields and the Sam Darnolds of the world ever since David Tepper took over the Panthers and just ran that franchise into the ground. And then last year with Justin Fields, DJ Moore, I know he's not thought of as one of the top 10 or 15 receivers in the league, CCAT, but off the top of your head, if you had to guess how big of an impact DJ Moore had last year, how many yards he racked up, where would you put him in? What range would you put him in there?
I would probably say 1,300 yards.
Right there.
All right.
Smack dab on it.
Nice.
He's a guy that you can throw, you can draw up wide receiver screens for, great rack guy on the outside, but also he can line up all over the field as well and is a weapon. And then you went out and you got a guy like DeAndre Swift who showed he can be a lead back for the Philadelphia Eagles last year and is a great pass-catching option out of the backfield. You line all of that up with offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, and you have the magnetism. Magnetism? Yeah, that's a word.
Yeah.
I'll work with it.
Maybe magnetism?
Magnetism. There we go. You have the magnetism that Caleb Williams has. I know he paints his nails. I know that offends some dudes who have that toxic masculinity, but just know that those nails are attached to those big, bold hands that Caleb Williams has, and that's attached to that elite arm that Williams has, and he's going to be slinging that ball all over the field this year. I'm thinking he's going to be so good, and his rookie season is going to be such a sight to see. I might be making a trip to Chicago in the wintertime, which is something I'm staunchly against. It's a summertime city. But he's going to be such a show. I think people are going to be making their way to the Windy City when it comes down to the Decembers and the January months. I can't believe that this isn't a surefire thing. I can't believe that there are actually people that think there are other rookies that can outperform Caleb Williams, as Ryan Poles, the GM of the Bears, has set up the perfect ecosystem for him to just break every single record, not just for Chicago Bears past passers, but also rookies of all time in the NFL. But it's like that because I was watching Get Up a couple days ago, and Booger McFarland, who is well known for his great and sometimes obvious takes, he kind of went out of left field with who he thinks will have the biggest impact their rookie season in the NFL.
Don't be surprised if midway through the season, we're having a conversation very similar to what we had last year, meaning the number 2 pick, Jaden Daniels, looks better than the number 1 pick, Caleb Williams. Just like we had last year with C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young, because there are a lot of people out of Washington telling me that this young man, Jaden Daniels, not only does he look the part, his teammates know he looked the part. And I think Caleb Williams is going to struggle, and I think Jaden Daniels is going to come out the gate flying. And we're going to have this conversation, Greeny. Mark it down, July the 16th, whatever it is, it's 100 degrees. Did the Chicago Bears make the right pick? We're going to have this conversation again.
Absolute nonsense. I know there's that phrase that, this won't happen until pigs fly, right? Like that's like a thing people say.
Yeah.
Pigs will be flying planes before we have Caleb Williams being a guy that the Chicago Bears regret. There is no way in hell that with that setup and that offensive coordinator and Matt Eberflus literally coaching for his life, right? Like this is a guy with his back against the wall who can't afford to have a down season. The Chicago Bears were a 7-win team last year. They had the number 1 overall pick because the Panthers are idiots, and they traded it away to them with DJ Moore to go get Bryce Young last year. There is no scenario in which I see Caleb Williams not just falling short of expectations, but not exceeding them in ways that end up being historic. There is no scenario in which, outside of injury, I don't see Caleb Williams walking away with that Rookie of the Year trophy. You might as well etch his name into the plaque right now. Why are we wasting our time? Caleb Williams not only should be the unmitigated, favorite to win Rookie of the Year. I would say when you look at those rookie records, 4,300 yards from Andrew Luck, 31 touchdowns from Justin Herbert, that's the floor for Caleb Williams. With those weapons, with that squad that hasn't seen quarterback play like that in the history of its franchise, Caleb Williams is going to blow it out of the water. But there's other guys out there. If you're like Booger McFarland, maybe you like Jaden Daniels. If you like other folks who think Drake May's the best quarterback in this draft, maybe you think he makes way in New England under new head coach Gerard Mayo. I just say no way, Jose. But hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. Let us know who you think will be the quarterback in the NFL that will have the greatest debut season, that will have the most impact when they first step on that field and play those 17 games for their newly minted franchises. The Baptist Health Orthopedic Care Hotline. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care is a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Which rookie quarterback is going to have the greatest impact this season in their debut year in the NFL? And CCAT, it's got to be Caleb Williams, and everybody else is a distant second. The gap between Caleb Williams and the rest of these rookie quarterbacks, given talent and the situations that they're going into, is bigger than the gap between Patrick Mahomes and the next quarterback down. When we talk about who's number 2 between Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and who else? Josh Allen. Like, that's how big of a difference it is for me. And I got to rock with Caleb Williams. CCAT, who do you think? I mean, there's Drake May. There's Bo Nix out there with Sean Payton, the quarterback whisperer. Who do you think can have a season to at least compare to Caleb Williams?
I love to disagree with you, Theo. I really do, but I can't get myself to that spot now because you talked about the numbers on the field that offense is going to break, the records that you're going to see with the Chicago Bears offense. Fail to mention, the defense was one of the best in football in the second half of the season. Yeah. The defense was tied for first in the NFL in interceptions and first in the NFL with rushing yards allowed per game. And in 2024, that Chicago Bears team has the third easiest schedule in the league.
Come on.
They're going to roll through that division.
And here's the thing, too, when you think about not just them having the perfect setup to be able to win and play at that level, they're also going to be in a division where if they stack up 8, 9, 10 wins and it's getting late in the season, those latter 4 or 5 games are going to be in division and are going to matter because the Lions and the Packers and maybe even the Vikings are going to provide a lot of resistance. Like, there's going to be some shootouts. I can't wait until we see the Bears and the Lions in Detroit, in that dome, and the shootout that might take place between Jared Goff and all his weapons and Caleb Williams. Like, we're set up for some immaculate shows, but it does feel like, I mean, come on. This is unprecedented. A dude with that level of talent, with a Heisman Trophy in his backyard, with it was no competition for the number 1 pick, getting dropped into that situation, it feels like people aren't talking about that enough.
It's because Caleb Williams kind of has haters because he's a little bit unorthodox off the field with the fingernail painting, with the crying with his mom after a loss with USC. Little nitpicky things that sports fans would love to poke fun at. I think that's taking off the shine of Caleb Williams, where you go back in time a while back, the suck for Luck. Andrew Luck was like the prototypical quarterback where he had zero flaws off the field, well-spoken football guy, this, that, and the third. Caleb Williams on the field, not much to complain about. Situation he's walking into, nothing to complain about. But off the field, a little unorthodox.
Yeah, like, I get you not liking a guy's personality, but did you like Rex Grossman? Or were you a big fan of the way that Mitch Trubisky carried himself? If you're a Bears fan, the bar is extremely low for when it comes to the on-field product. I don't care what the hell the quarterback wants to do, in the stands with his mom or on his fingernails or whatever the heck else Caleb Williams does that offends folks. Like, he's going to be winning football games at a high level. There's no way in which I see this offense not putting up at least 25 points per game. When I look back, I went and did this. I was curious because Obviously, it's unprecedented for a guy of that talent level to have this much talent surrounding him. But I was trying to see how well have rookies been able to compete. How well have they compared to their counterparts in the NFL in their debut seasons? Since 2011, there's been 5 rookie quarterbacks that have thrown for 4,000 yards. And each of those are guys that are, mainstays in the league. One of them, Justin Herbert, Cam Newton on that list as well. And I just think about the teams that they were dropped into. Outside of Herbert, who had Keenan Allen, who, by the way, Caleb Williams does have, nobody's been dropped into a better situation than Caleb Williams. Maybe not since Dak Prescott was able to take over for Tony Romo in 2016, and he had maybe the best rookie season of all time. But the expectations around Caleb Williams are also high because he's coming out as a transcendent, a generational product or a prospect. Like, this to me feels like a can't-miss thing. It's a home run, and I looked at our poll, C-Cat. We put a poll out this morning on ESPN West Palm. Which rookie quarterback is going to have the best first season in the NFL? Caleb Williams won with 41%, but Jaden Daniels was right behind him at 35%.
Yeah, that number should be 85 to 90 in favor of Caleb Williams.
Yes.
That's ridiculous. If you were to guess right now what the over-under total in Vegas would be for the Bears is, what would you guess right now?
They won 7 games last year, and that was sans Roma Dunze, DeAndre Swift, and Caleb Williams.
Keenan Allen, too?
Keenan Allen, too. And then also you're going to get a full season of Montez Sweat, who they traded for midseason. The over-under in Vegas has to at least be, it's probably 9.5.
It's only 8.5.
Wow. No, There's no way. So you're telling me that those additions, plus another year of Matt Eberflus coaching for his life, the infusion of Shane Waldron, who is he's a Shanahan, he's a who's McVay guy, like he's one of those offensive geniuses. Shane Waldron, offensive coordinator for the Seahawks, who recovered Geno Smith. Remember, they wrote me off and I didn't write back. That was the doing of what Shane Waldron did with the Seahawks offense. That guy's coming in to coach Caleb Williams as well. I don't see where the misses are, and I don't know how it's that low.
Yet Vegas is telling you they think that the Bears are going to be right around 500.
That's
9-8 or 8-9, which is insane.
So a 9-8 record for the Bears would hit that over. They're saying 8.5. I got to take the over on that. I'm hopping on Hard Rock Bet today.
With the third easiest schedule in the NFL.
What do they know that we don't know?
There's got to be something, right?
There's something out there in the air. I'm like,
Wait, do they play at FedEx Field this year? Do they go to Washington and that just death trap of a field? That might be a reason. Just saying. I'm begging and pleading no injuries this NFL season for the first time ever. But just saying. Vegas knows things, dude.
And I will say, too, the Bears didn't really invest in a veteran backup quarterback. I think it would be Tyson Bagent, who still would be the backup behind Caleb Williams.
They go to Washington this year, week 8.
Oh, no. We figured it out. We have figured it out. I was all over the Bears. I've said they're going to win the NFC in the next 3 years. The Chicago Bears are undoubtedly going to win the NFC in the next 3 years, the way that Ryan Poles is building this thing out. And, again, having a guy at quarterback, right? Like, he's not just a above replacement average guy. He's not like a Jared Goff, a Tua Tagovailoa, even a Trevor Lawrence. He's a step above those guys as a prospect, and all that talent and the way they're investing into it. Cole Kmet, I didn't even mention him. He's a top 5 or 10 receiving tight end in the league. I'm just saying, this Bears squad is being not talked about enough. And you know what? I'll be in Chicago in 2 weeks. I'm going to prod the media out there. Maybe it's your fault, Courtney Cronin. I don't know who else is out there in Chicago covering the Bears.
A lot of guys.
That's the problem.
Michael Wilbon back in the day.
Michael Wilbon, speak up. Speak up on these dudes. Windy City needs to love. Obviously, when football season does come around, you're going to want to go to a place that you can watch multiple games at once because, out here in South Florida, it's not like we're going to have Bears games on everywhere, but you're going to want to see what Caleb Williams is doing and also maybe your Dolphins and also maybe the Niners. Pull up to a Duffy Sports Grill. 80 or more televisions in every single location. Now, by the time football season rolls around, you won't be able to enjoy what's going on right now, which is the dog days of summer. And the dog days of summer at Duffy Sports Grill go through July 31st, so you actually only have 2 more weeks to enjoy the amazing hot dogs on display, available for all fans involved at Duffy's Sports Grill. I'm most interested in that Duffy's Death Dog. I'm a spicy guy. I like the spiciness in food. I got a lot of roots to Louisiana. Spice that stuff up. But also, you got 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day to cool down. You know what I'm saying? After that Death Dog, you need a refresher. 2-for-1 drinks. It doesn't matter the time. It doesn't matter which Duffy location. It's everywhere. Duffy'sMVP.com to sign up and be a rewards member, a MVP like me, like Caleb Williams will be in the future. And then you can track those rewards. And when you go back, you just swipe that card and boom, you stack up some more rewards. Duffy'sMVP.com as well to go check out the menu at Duffy's. Our game is always on. That is, again, when you're talking about, predictions ahead of the season, you would think that Caleb Williams, surefire rookie of the year, breaking all the rookie records, should be a home run. Many people should be saying it, but I'm the only one with the courage to do so. That's the kind of stuff you get here on Theoretically Speaking. And you also get a breakdown of the Open Championship out there. Who disappointed more? Whose drop in not making the weekend was more heart-wrenching between Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy? We discuss on the other side. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney